Most Walmart Spark drivers believe they're earning around $20 to $25 an hour, but the hidden truth is many are barely clearing minimum wage once all expenses are factored in. The number on your app doesn't tell the full story, and this oversight is quietly costing drivers thousands of dollars every year. What seems like a decent payout for a delivery can shrink dramatically after you account for fuel, maintenance, and the silent killer, depreciation. If you don't track these meticulously, you're essentially working for free, or worse, losing money. The biggest mistake is only looking at gross income, ignoring the constant drain on your vehicle and wallet. We're going to break down exactly how much that $20 delivery actually puts in your pocket, and it's probably far less than you imagine. But the exact calculation most people miss is crucial for understanding your true hourly wage. Let's be clear, gross pay is what Spark shows you. Net pay is what you actually get to keep. Imagine a typical Spark trip. You accept an offer for $18 to deliver groceries 7 miles away. That $18 looks good, right? But consider the round trip, 14 miles. At an average IRS mileage deduction rate of 69 cents per mile, that's $9.38 in vehicle expenses just for that one trip. Suddenly, your $18 offer is closer to $8.62 before even thinking about gas, which fluctuates wildly, or the accelerated wear and tear on your tires, brakes, and engine. This isn't just a theoretical number. It's money you'll eventually spend on repairs or a new car. Ignoring this distinction is the quickest way to feel like you're making money when, in reality, your vehicle is absorbing a significant portion of your earnings. But what about the less obvious costs that chip away at your profit? Fuel is the most obvious expense, but many drivers underestimate its true impact. If you drive a car that gets 30 miles per gallon and gas costs $3.50 a gallon, every mile you drive costs you about 12 cents in gas alone. For that 14-mile round trip we just discussed, that's $1.68 directly out of your pocket. Now, if you do 20 of those trips in a week, you've spent over $33 on gas. Multiplied by 52 weeks, that's over $1,700 a year just on fuel, assuming constant prices and consistent mileage. This doesn't even account for idling at the store waiting for orders or making multiple stops. Gas prices can swing dramatically, too, turning a profitable day into a losing one if you're not constantly monitoring your routes and earnings per mile. But fuel is just one piece of the puzzle. Your car demands more. Beyond gas, your car is constantly accumulating wear and tear. Oil changes become more frequent, tires wear out faster, brakes need replacing, and eventually, major components like transmissions or engines can fail prematurely. A standard oil change might cost $60 every 5,000 miles. If you're driving 1,000 miles a week for Spark, that's an oil change every 5 weeks. Tires for a typical sedan can run $600 to $800 for a set, and if you drive 50,000 miles a year, you might need new ones annually. These aren't small, one-time costs. They're recurring, predictable expenses that eat into your profits. Many drivers only budget for these when the problem arises, creating a financial shock. But what about the biggest, often ignored expense that truly impacts your long-term wealth? This is the silent killer that most new Spark drivers completely overlook: vehicle depreciation. Every mile you put on your car for Spark deliveries decreases its resale value. A car that might have lasted you 10 years for personal use could be worn out in 5 years or less with heavy gig work. This lost value is a real cost. For example, if your car depreciates by $3,000 a year due to extra mileage and wear from Spark, that's $250 a month you're losing, even if you never see it leave your bank account directly. This is why the IRS allows a mileage deduction. It accounts for this significant expense. Not factoring in depreciation means you're not truly understanding your net income, and it will hit you hard when you eventually need to replace your vehicle. But there's another hidden cost related to taxes that can surprise many drivers. As an independent contractor for Spark, you're responsible for your own taxes, including self-employment taxes, Social Security, and Medicare, which is roughly 15.3% on your net earnings. This is on top of your regular income tax. Unlike an employee, Spark doesn't withhold taxes, so many drivers get hit with a huge tax bill at the end of the year if they haven't saved. For every $1,000 you earn in net profit, You should set aside at least $250 to $300 for taxes, depending on your income bracket. This means a $100 net profit is really only $70 to $75 after taxes. Failing to plan for this can lead to penalties and interest from the IRS. It's a significant chunk of your earnings that needs to be accounted for, or you'll be in for a rude awakening. But how do all these expenses add up to a truly low hourly wage? Let's put it all together with a realistic example. Suppose you work 20 hours a week for Spark. You average $22 per hour gross, totaling $440 for the week. In those 20 hours, you drive 300 miles. Using the IRS rate of 67 cents per mile, your vehicle expenses are $201, 67 cents x 300. Your gross pay of $440 minus $201 of vehicle costs leaves you with a net operational income of $239. Now, divide that by 20 hours. Your true hourly wage is $11.95. This is before setting aside money for self-employment taxes. After accounting for, say, 25% for taxes, your actual take-home pay becomes approximately $8.96 per hour. This is the hidden $15 per hour cost we mentioned in the title. The difference between your perceived $22 per hour and your actual $8.96 per hour. That's a significant drop, often below minimum wage in many states. But can you actually earn more? Or is this the reality for everyone? A common myth is that peak pay or surge pricing makes Spark consistently profitable. While these bonuses can temporarily boost your earnings, they often come with a catch: more drivers on the road. When Spark offers extra incentives, more drivers log on, saturating the market and potentially leading to fewer orders overall or longer wait times between lucrative trips. So, while a $5 bonus per delivery looks great, if it means you complete one less delivery in an hour or spend an extra 15 minutes waiting, the net effect can be negligible or even negative. Relying solely on these fluctuating bonuses is a dangerous strategy for consistent income. The reality is that steady, well-calculated trips are more important than chasing every surge. But there's a critical mistake drivers make that amplifies these issues. The biggest mistake Spark drivers make is accepting every order, especially low-paying ones. Imagine an offer for $7 to drive 10 miles. That's 70 cents per mile gross. After expenses, 67 cents per mile IRS rate. You're making 3 cents per mile. That's essentially working for free, or even losing money if your actual gas cost is higher than the average. New drivers often feel pressure to accept everything to keep their metrics up, but this is a trap. Declining in profitable orders is not a sign of failure. It's smart business. You need to have a minimum dollar per mile threshold and stick to it, even if it means waiting longer for the next order. This discipline is what separates the drivers barely breaking even from those who actually make a decent profit. But how do you set that threshold effectively? To truly make Spark worth your time, you need a minimum dollar per mile target. A good starting point for most drivers is $1.50 to $2 per total mile driven, including the return trip. So, if an offer is for $15 and the total driving distance is 10 miles, that's $1.50 per mile, potentially acceptable. But if it's $15 for 20 miles, that's only 75 cents per mile, which is likely a money-losing proposition after all expenses. Always look at the total payout versus the total estimated miles. Don't be afraid to decline offers that fall below your minimum. Your time and vehicle are valuable assets, and accepting every lowball offer just means you're devaluing them. This strategy might mean more waiting, but it ensures that when you do drive, you're actually making a profit. But there are also specific times when this strategy is most effective. Timing is everything with Spark. Weekends, especially Saturday and Sunday mornings and evenings, tend to be the busiest, with higher order volumes and often better tips. Weekday evenings, particularly between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., are also strong. Lunch hours from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. can be good too, but sometimes involve smaller orders. Avoid driving during slow periods like mid-morning weekdays or late nights unless there's a significant bonus, as you'll spend more time waiting than earning. Focus your efforts on these peak times to maximize your hourly rate and reduce your idle time. This concentration of effort helps you hit your dollar per mile target more consistently. Remember, working fewer but more profitable hours is better than working many unprofitable ones. But there's a final, critical piece of advice that can truly make or break your Spark experience. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The most successful gig economy drivers use a multi-app strategy. Sign up for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Instacart in addition to Spark. This allows you to cherry-pick the best orders across multiple platforms. If Spark is slow, you can check DoorDash. If a great Instacart batch comes in, you can prioritize that. This dramatically reduces idle time and increases your chances of finding high-paying, low-mileage offers. Just be careful not to accept too many orders at once from different apps, as this can lead to delays and frustrated customers. The goal is to always be moving and earning efficiently, leveraging the strengths of each platform. This flexibility is key to maintaining a decent hourly wage when one app alone might not consistently deliver. But what's the ultimate takeaway here? So, is Walmart Spark Driver worth your time? For many, the answer is a nuanced it depends. If you meticulously track your expenses, consistently decline low-paying orders, focus on peak hours, and embrace a multi-app strategy, you could potentially earn a decent supplemental income, perhaps $15 to $20 net per hour in good markets. However, if you're not disciplined with expenses and accept every order, you risk working for less than minimum wage and accelerating your vehicle's demise. The key is to be a smart, strategic driver, not just a busy one. If you're wondering how to properly manage your taxes as an independent contractor across multiple platforms, then you'll want to watch our video on avoiding gig economy tax surprises next. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please consider subscribing for more realistic side hustle insights.